Good morning, friends. Just a quick thought for the day. Thinking about feelings, about anger, responding from anger, responding with anger. I think in Buddhism there's a lot of talk about the harmfulness of anger. And I don't think that's very easily understood or accepted, because in our culture, well, maybe in most every culture, maybe it's an ordinary or natural, quote-unquote, natural human response. But I would say it's a reaction. When we are triggered, upset, anger arises. And in the state of anger, we feel fired up, we feel energized, we feel righteous, we feel right, and we just immediately react. And how does it go? When we react with anger, is it really that helpful? Is it really that useful? Is it actually good? If it is helpful, useful, and good, would more of it be better? Respond with more anger, more intense anger, more hatred. How does that go? That might clear it up for you a little better. So what's the alternative? What's another way of being? Another way of living? Another type of thing to add to daily life, to the lives of others, to our future. What's the alternative? Well, you'd have to stop and think about that, wouldn't you? And I think that's a great way to go about it. Spend time thinking about what is it that's responding in anger? Is it really you? Is it really your true self? Is it really your authenticity? Are you really sticking up for yourself? Sticking up for what's right? Doing the right thing? Or is there a better way? Is there a better, more effective, more helpful way? I think the important thing that we might first realize is anger isn't necessarily the best response. If it was, more anger would be better. And we can clearly see more anger is less clarity, less wisdom. It's less appropriate. It's more inappropriate. It's more just out of alignment. So how do we be more in alignment? Probably less anger, less reactiveness, in other words, not just immediately reacting with feelings, my feelings. Feelings always say, you're right, you're absolutely right, you must do this now, you must do it with intensity, me. The stronger the better. And we need to begin to really contemplate that, reflect upon that, see how that's always turned out. If we crank up the dial, does it turn out better or does it turn out worse? Reactivity, feelings, anger, not the most helpful way to go about responding and creating a better situation than what you think you are in at the moment. So what do we do? In the moment, we're not going to know what to do, that's for sure. So that's where daily meditation comes in. When we have a clear mind, we can think about it. It's not the responses we need to think about, but it's more of a general way of being. How we need to think about how shall we be in those times? How shall we be not in those times? How shall we be? What sort of attitude? What sort of way of being? When we think about it, I think carefulness comes to mind. We be careful. We be considerate. We be kind. We try to be gentle. Caring, kind, gentle, considerate, and maybe quiet. Listening more. So these are really ways of being, cultivating a new way of relating to life, to being in life. Why? Why would it be good? Just examine the outcomes of it. When we are considerate, we're not selfish. We're not all me first. And that sort of thing, all me first and selfishness, always brings more difficulty, confusion, harm, distance to us and to others and to the world. When we're not kind and we're angry and we're harsh and we're extreme and judgmental, it brings immediate pain, immediate separation, immediate distance. Maybe even scars, broken relationships, maybe even trauma. You never know how you affect others. A way of being becomes who you are in your life. When we're not gentle and we're extreme and we're careless with how we interact, we crush things. We crush people. We step on little things just starting to grow. A lot of damage, a lot of suffering, a lot of destruction, a lot of distance. So we see by looking at those immediate reactions how much difficulty and pain they bring to us in our life. They bring us things we don't really want. That's the point of contemplating them. So that's why it's important to practice a new way of being, to contemplate the value of it. You know, it may not seem quote unquote natural. It may not seem authentic, and what some people mean by authentic is immediate selfish, reaction. I must express my extreme emotion, or else somehow I'll be not heard or whatever. That's not authenticity. That's just selfish reaction. It's just fear and anger leading you. So we must consider, what sort of feelings do we want to have? What sort of relationships do we want to have? We want to be closer. We want to have more friendships. We want to have a gentler experience hour by hour, day by day, year by year. We want to be more open. We want others to be more open to us. We want life to feel more like a flow. We want to be in flow rather than resistance. Flow brings peace. Flow brings more contentment. Flow brings more interaction with real life. These qualities of gentleness, kindness, consideration, non-reactivity, cooling down our anger, trying not to react from anger, trying to be gentle. Even non-reactivity is better than reacting from harsh anger. However, we do have to be wise. We do have to consider what's really important to us. What are our boundaries? Safety is one of them. Always protect your safety. But your actual safety, not your pride. Someone insults you. Do you need to protect your safety? No. Anyway, so this is the importance of meditation as far as contemplation. Contemplate. What does normal reactivity from strong feelings lead to immediately and long term? Is it what we want? Don't we want to be closer, happier, more in flow? Have a more gentle day. When we realize we do, and we realize it's all up to our reactions. Cultivating a new way of being in life that is the fruit of the path. If we want peace, we must be more peaceful in those times when we don't feel peaceful. We must be softer in those times that we feel extreme. We must be kinder when we know we can be harsh. We must be generally more considerate of others, of our effect on others, and more importantly, maybe, we must be more wise, more contemplative about what we want, what leads to it, and what leads us away from it, what brings our life and others more peace, and what brings our life the opposite. And dedicate ourselves little by little, as much as we can, each day, each morning, to practicing those things. That's my thought for today as the sun rises over the Himalayas in Dharamshala, India. Wishing you much blessing. Have a beautiful day.